see.
Yeah, we will see. That's tonight, of course, so we'll be covering that. 8:10 right now, Monday, March 8th. We're KUAM-FM, Agotni, Guam. The Breeze. And let's go right into the KUAM News Zoom room where we have Dan Mendiola, retired First Sergeant Dan Mendiola, is an Army veteran, and I believe we're trying to get Marine vet Jose San Augustine. I don't know if that's him. Dan, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Sabrina. How you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good. Did you talk with Mr. San Augustine? Because he did confirm that he was going to come on, but I'm not sure.
As a matter of fact, I did talk to him yesterday evening, and I told him make sure he set his alarm clock.
Right on. Well, I figure if he's a Marine, he's an early riser.
No,
So.
I've been on for like the past 30 minutes.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. So we don't have your camera.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Yeah, you know, it's so sad because this is a brand new laptop, and let me dial in using my cell phone so we can actually have video.
Right on. That'd
Sorry
be great.
about that.
No worries.
I didn't realize that the laptop does not have a camera on.
Oh.
Let me dial using my cell phone.
your laptop doesn't have a camera on it?
It doesn't.
Oh.
It doesn't, and it's a brand new camera.
Oh man, how much did you pay for it?
That's not one of those DOE laptops.
Well,
It's one of those HPs.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Okay.
why. Yeah.
I got an HP, but it's an old one, and it works.
Oh.
Yes.
You guys got to call the grandkids tonight to come and figure it out for you.
Thank you.
First Sergeant Dan, we'll just go while Mr. San Augustine figures that out. We wanted to bring you on because we're getting Tim Hogan of Veterans Affairs coming on in just a little bit. But I apologize because of COVID and coronavirus, the pandemic. Usually I'm the one who's kind of reaching out to the veterans, and I know that we've had a lot of conversations over the last couple years, but something we haven't really heard about, pretty much since the last time we had the Veterans Committee from Congress come through the island, we haven't really heard from or for the veterans in a minute. So First Sergeant Dan, definitely wanted to get you on to find out, I guess, first of all, what type of conversation have you been having with the government of Guam regarding like veterans issues, veterans affairs? And I guess not just the government of Guam, we'll throw in Congressman San Nicolas there too. Have people been approaching you guys about the issues that you're facing?
I know, Chris, that has always been probably like either a favorite subject that we need to talk about or something that I would like to talk about or my people would like to talk about. But again, prior to, I was watching the mayor, the president of the mayor, so talking about economics and about the COVID-19 and everything else. So we're kind of like, playing it very low, very little get together unless we really have to. I haven't had any formal meeting, monthly meeting whatsoever since we started the COVID-19 protocol. So every once in a while, I gather some people that are essential to some urgent matters, and we put forward and we try to tag people that we need to help us out. But in general, Vietnam Veterans of America, we're doing good. We have about 122 lifetime members right now and about 24 associate life members. So we're up and alive and kicking.
What are some of the urgent matters and issues?
Some urgent matters is such as, we do have a liability. We do have the co-ban. We have power and water to pay on that particular real estate. We got grass cutting that needs to be done. We have to take care of our statue. We have to maintain it. And, we're one of the very few nonprofit veterans organization that owns a piece of property, and that we always have to make sure we keep it up for so that we will not disrespect the village, the community with unsightly display of our little area. So
Well, it
we'll try
looks
to
good.
keep it up.
It looks good, First Sergeant. I wanted to
Yeah,
just
it does look good.
go back here. We'll just start again, and I'm going to re-ask the question locally, right? With the local Veterans Affairs office headed up by Mr. Tim Hogan. What kind of conversations have you guys had about veterans issues? Because I know that at least Mr. Hogan says that this office has been faced with its own share of issues, and I know that Mr. St. Augustine, I believe, used to head up the local Veterans Affairs office under the former governor. So, are you guys getting any feedback or anything
Yes.
from the local Veterans Affairs office?
Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, let me just lay out. Okay, around the latter part of December or January, for a long time, ever since Mr. St. Augustine was no longer the administrator, the director for VA down at Assen, we have kept low key in the Veterans Commission. They had an election of officers in January. We made it, and Joe St. Augustine is now the chairman for the Guam Veterans Commission. Roro Ada is the first vice chairman, and I am the second vice chairman for the Guam Veterans Commission. Mr. Lee Weber is our treasurer, and right now we're just trying to find somebody within our own group to be a secretary. We need a secretary back. We're just wondering, any of you two guys available? No. Okay. So that's where we at with that. As far as national veterans, of course,
Bring on Mr. St. Augustine first, Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just checking. I think we have Joe's. So Dan, just to be clear, because there's so many.
Yeah,
there's
let's
a lot
give
of
Joe
different.
a chance to get in.
Yeah, he's coming in. There's a lot of different veterans organizations. So the Guam Veterans Commission, which one is this?
I'm on a Zoom. I'll call you back. Okay. Thank you.
There you go. Okay, unmute Mr. St. Augustine.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning,
Good
morning.
morning.
Yeah, I apologize for I was playing with the cell phone, learning. I think my speaker's too loud. Yeah.
Go ahead and
No, I'm hearing you this way.
We're picking you up,
yeah,
Joe.
your audio's good.
So again, guys, can you clarify Guam Veterans Commission? Which one is this? Because I know the congressman also had a veterans group, and then so again, what's the Guam Veterans Commission, and what do you guys do?
So I'm
Joe,
actually the chair of the Guam Veterans Commission, and my tour started just this past January. So this particular commission goes on for 3 years total. As Dan alluded earlier, he's the second vice. We have Roro Ada, who's our first vice.
No, you muted him.
Yeah.
Go
We're
ahead.
getting a reverberation.
Go ahead, Jose. Oh. No, it's still muted.
Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yes.
you're good. You're good now. Sorry about that.
Okay, so what we do as a commission is actually hear and look out after issues that are facing our veterans and their families, and work with the legislature and the executive branch, which is sponsored by Tim Hogan, who is the current director of the state VA office, to remedy or address those issues, and of course by law try to influence to make slight changes so that it could entertain and accommodate those challenging issues that continue to happen within our veterans community. I could say this, that in the short time that Mr. Tim Hogan and his team has taken over the Guam Veterans Affairs Office and the cemetery, I am very, very happy with their performance. Tim, and the team has came a long ways to make a lot of improvements down at the cemetery and the services that are provided at the Guam Veterans Affairs Office to address many of the issues and challenges that we continue to have with the cemetery down there, especially. But also they have on board a total of 4 veteran service officers, which allows for more increase of veterans and family needs for those that need assistance. What I see in the past, because I was with the VA office for almost 2 years during the last administration, is many of our veterans do not come in and register with the VA office. Are you guys still there, or am I by myself?
No,
No,
we're
you're
just letting
here.
you talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, am I talking to myself? And so many of them kind of wait till the last minute when they're really ill to seek assistance. It's so sad because the past year it is difficult for Tim Hogan and the team to actually go out there and do some outreach to get the word out and reach out to our community as the way I did it when I was there, so that we can let them know what services are available, what their purpose is, and what we're able to provide based on the federal and state law. And there's a lot that we could do. Now, what happens here is where the veteran frustrates is that there's a system in place that has been implemented by the federal VA, and that's utilizing the phone. Yeah, we understand that many of our veterans, those elderly and those that are probably unemployed, cannot afford to have phones. So it's difficult for them to actually seek help. And that's one of the things that Dan and I are talking about. How can we get phones to these people so that they are able to call that 1-800 number or that VA number or the community-based outreach clinic or the Naval Hospital if they need help. And in the absence of that, those that do have cell phones, do not utilize the system like it's designed. So they tend to lose patience, when you get the operator on, and the first thing that comes on is if you have COVID-19, but what they're calling for is actually an appointment, and so they have to go to a series of the answering machine process, and many of them kind of lose patience and then lose hope. I've tried using the system before, and the system works. It's just that you have to actually be patient, listen to the menu, and follow the menu, and it'll take you to where you need to go. So one of the outreach, and of course, being the Vet Commission chair, is I'm looking forward to really working with Mr. Tim Hogan. I am very pleased with Tim because he's a very positive person who wants to do an outreach and reach out to as many veterans as we could, so that we could suppress some of these unnecessary comments that are being said out there, where the service is no good because you've been there, you were denied service, and give up, it's no good. So that's still happening when an individual gets assistance from the Guam Veterans Affairs Office. They turn in their documents. It's reviewed by the medical experts to determine what their percentage will be. And when they come back saying 0% or we need more evidence, they tend to give up. And believe it or not, we still have folks that are Vietnam vets that are just now starting to receive some type of percentage based on some of the findings that the federal VA was able to conclude. They are determined to be of service-related injuries. So some of the outreach that we want to do, because many of our folks, especially the younger ones, when you say service-related, some of them, because they were on active duty and went on liberty and were injured, they don't foresee that as a service-related because they were on liberty. Well, the thing is, while they were on active duty and they encountered that injury, that is service-related injury. So, reaching out there and providing more information so that we get these people to visit us and better inform them of how the system works and what we could do, is where we come in. And I look forward to working with Dan, Roro, Ada, and Lee Weber, and of course the executive branch and the legislative branch, to seek ways to give more attention to our veterans. I was told by a very seasoned veteran that the legislature looks at the veterans as down at the bottom of the barrel.
Right.
And I refuse to accept that, to make that happen. Anything what needs to happen is that we let the legislature know what is it that we're dealing with and seek their assistance, so that we could get more funding to get more personnel into the Veterans Affairs Office and down at the cemetery to address these challenges, and also programs that we could pursue to be able to go out there and do outreach in each and every community, so that the word gets out, and whatever things that veterans doubt that they experienced in the past doesn't mean that's an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's disappointing to hear that you guys are at the bottom of priorities. I'm a proud daughter of a veteran. My dad retired from the military years ago.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
that's kind of frustrating.
Who's the oversight chair over there at the legislature for veterans?
It's Peter Terlai, what I understand. And Chris Reyes and Tony Ada, who's the assistant.
I'd like to ask you, gentlemen, the congressman, he was here on island, was it about a couple weeks ago? And usually, at least in the past, previous Congress people, they've held meetings with veterans on island when they visit. And so I'm just kind of wondering if you guys had that opportunity to meet with Congressman St. Nicholas when he was here. I know he toured, the Marine base, but...
No, I have not. And the thing, Bree, is of course, the COVID became an issue, right?
But we're meeting via Zoom.
The meetings, no, I have not. The meetings we've had in the past was actually an advisory council when Delegate Madeline Berdallo was on board.
Right,
yeah.
So let me ask you.
So that happens, at least, that happens at least once a month, right? And so when Delegate Mike St. Nicholas came on board, the old advisory council kind of just went off to the side. But I've been talking to Dan that I would like to revive that organization, because that is actually the path into needing a lot of assistance from the federal side of the house, having the delegate involved.
Right. Joe, let me ask you, because during the delegates' state of the Congress speech last year, he made a big deal about this Congressional Veterans Advisory Committee, which was supposed to be headed up by former senatorial candidate John Ananich. But what have you guys heard from that CVAC, that Congressional Veterans Advisory Committee? Have you had any discussion, engagement, anything?
No, we have not yet, Chris. But I am quite confident that once we make the attempt to network and let them know that this is our vision and this is the type of help that we're looking for from this particular delegate, I'm sure we should be able to revive the advisory council.
Wait, so is it
the
dead?
Past, whatever reason go ahead,
Is
Chris.
it dead that it needs to be revived? Because we haven't heard anything. Or is it still active? Do you know, Dan?
Are you addressing that to me?
Yeah, the CVAC, the Congressional Veterans Advisory Council.
At the onset, I was at the very first meeting when Senator Mike St. Nicholas wanted to start the council or continue. At that time, there was very little attendance in the council, and it needs to be reorganized.
So no.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Let's bring on Tim Hogan.
No, there's just some feedback.
Yeah, there's someone's microphone is on there. We bring on Veterans Affairs Director Tim Hogan via Zoom. Tim, good morning. Unmute.
Hi, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. I guess we'll just start there. We were talking about the Guam Veterans Commission and then the Congressional Veterans Advisory Council. Is that even still a thing, Tim?
So, I know that Bill Cundiff is part of the Veterans Minority Group, which is, I actually got an email this morning from the Secretary of Veterans Administration requesting for nominations for renewal of his, let me pull it up here real quick. Sorry. Yeah, so he's a member of the VA Secretary Committee on Minority Veterans. So that's something I just received via email. So that's the only participation that I know of. I know there was talk about what the congressman, his intentions were, but I'm not aware of anybody being appointed or recommended for that.
So you guys don't talk with the head of it, former senatorial candidate John Ananich, at all about veterans issues or anything?
I don't know his information or contact information. What is his role again?
I just know that during the congressman's speech last year, he said that he was appointing John Ananich as the head of the Congressional Veterans Advisory Council, but we haven't heard anything since then.
Can I elaborate on that?
Yeah, please, Dan, please.
As I was saying earlier, that I happened to attend the meeting of the congressman when he wanted to revive the council. So first of all, we want to look at what's the council, or what's the difference between the council advisory group and the Guam Veterans Commission. Well, the Guam Veterans Commission is the state commission that gathers information and tries overall to help the veterans, to include things that are being done at the Veterans Office in Assen. The council's primary mission is to take care of the federal side of the house. These are a group of leaders coming from all the different veterans organizations as much as they can. Either the Purple Heart, VVA, Korean War veterans, and everything else. They're all welcome to be part of the council. And the council is the one actually that has the clear pathway to address federal problems. The state can request, or the state can put subjects and matters to be discussed. But sometimes in the past, we have relayed that message to the council because they seem to be more appropriate to carry the business forward to get it alleviated. The first meeting with Mike St. Nicholas was that it did not go well. Let me just make it short. It did not go well. He has a different vision of how to organize it. He wanted to bring in the active duty leadership, such as the National Guard, the Army Reserve, Air Force, active duty, that are interested in coming. And I think his overall point in that is that he wants support together with the VA, with the council that he is going to organize or put together. He wants some backups. He wants some stakeholders from the active duty component. And that's how I understood it. But after that, it was I did relay the message that if he needs any more help on it and if he wants to continue, give me a call. But I never did get a call from him. So it's laying and waiting right now.
How long ago was that? I'm sorry.
Part of the reason I must say in the past that Chris has mentioned some leadership from that are involved with the Military Affairs Committee in Washington, D.C. They came here
Right.
with Madeline because they are the most appropriate people to accompany Madeline to come to Guam to find out what are the problems here, because they're the ones that introduce bills, not Madeline. She's part of the committee, but she's not really a number one person up there to submit bills to Congress.
Right.
So that's why we have our representative from Florida. I forgot his name, and a few others that normally she brings to Guam, probably before Memorial Day sometimes or before election. And we have a little meeting and discuss veterans business.
But there was a town hall, right, Dan? Under
Town hall
this
meeting are
congressman.
welcome. All we have to do is request for it.
But I just want to go back just to clarify. So when Congressman San Nicolas came into office, the Guam Veterans Commission, because we talked about this before, that was kind of like the group that was taking their concerns to former Congresswoman Madeline Berdallo. But when Congressman San Nicolas came in, he was basically like, I want to make my own group. And
We
I
don't
want to
have
do
a
it
core
this way.
entity right now up there. No veterans entity unless it's just an individual lodging a complaint through his office.
And so he had announced at the speech last year that he was going to touch up the Congressional Veterans Advisory Council to be headed by senatorial candidate John Ananich. And that's kind of the last we heard about it, and there hasn't been anything. So let's just bring on Tim. So Tim, since we're not getting anything out of the congressional office, at least organized, what does that leave you kind of doing locally here?
Well, yeah, I totally understand that Congressman and his office are tied up and busy up at the Hill. But first of all, Chris, I just want to thank our newly inaugurated Veterans Commission officers in Mr. Dan Mignola and Joe Augustine. It has been a great start, and with new faces, and we share the same vision, is to improve our customer service, provide an avenue accessible to all veterans, and because they served and they deserve what they definitely need for them and their families. In regards to operating, I have the full support of the governor and the lieutenant governor. I have restructured, reorganized, built from the ground up. And currently we are seeking federal grant funding to supplement our shortfalls in the budget, both for fiscal year 21 and 22. That being said, there was an audit done in 2018. We submitted our corrective action plan in December. We sent our second increment of accomplishments, and I am pleased to announce that we are 95% completed, and we should be eligible to apply for grants on April 1st or March 31st. We should be 100% come full circle on discrepancies that has been preventing this agency from receiving federal grant money.
I'm just wondering how disappointing is it for you guys that there's no group or representation, no one fighting for you guys in Congress, it appears.
I mean, was that just an election thing or what? Because I felt like senatorial candidate John Ananich was out here like, I care about the veterans, I'm going to do this. But it was during the election, guys, so I don't know if that was just like an election thing, because there's nothing. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's frustrating.
Can I say something? about that.
Yeah.
I have this vision and an idea or understanding with, and we understand when you're running for office, especially legislature, you tend to come out with a lot of promises, a lot of support, a lot of thoughts into the veterans, and they actually feel that they're on the spot when they say that. But one of the problem is there need to be a connection between the group such as the Guam Veterans Commission to continually pass on information to those senators that talk about helping the veterans so that they could be updated. They're not being updated right now. They're not being updated, and it's up in the air on a lot of veterans issue. And I think that's a step forward. It's an initiative in the commission's part for us to just not meet once a month and listen to the veterans. Of course, we got the veterans complaint, but those complaints need to be addressed on a periodic basis to Senator Piru Titlahi or to Tony Ada. And I think it's fair to pass that information on, because I'm sure that these are very knowledgeable people and they can help us. They're like stakeholders in a way.
Yeah.
Can I guess, Tim, this may be a question for you, just from one of our online viewers. The ASIN office doesn't help vets at all because they aren't certified or can't just do what they can, always blaming everyone.
Can I answer a little bit of that before Tim?
Sure.
We have to fully understand the complete tour of a veteran service officers. Mm-hmm. You have two types of veteran service officers. You have a certified VA veteran service officer. Now that officer has to be trained, whether you send him off island or they send a liaison team here to train him, and after that they are fully certified by the Office of the Adjutant OG VA. They're the ones that issue the official certificate for a fully and nationally recognized veteran to help veterans. And that's important because they're online, they can do the paperwork and also get up-to-date training on what's happening. Now, there's another type of veteran service officers, such as the ones in the organization. The ones in the organization, not that I know of, they don't have the national VA certification. So what they do is they cater to any veteran that comes to them and ask him, and they will pass on the knowledge and help them as much as they can. But the problem with that is they are not fully aware of the changes within the filing system. They're not. So it's very, go to ASEN. You need to go to ASEN, or you need to go to the cargo section once they open up, or they're taking appointments right now if you have something to file. But they need to communicate. I mean, it's as simple as that. Right now, I think, Tim, in ASEN, you have 2 certified?
4.
Okay,
4.
There are 4. Thank you. Okay, these are the people to go. And my advice to the veterans that are putting in paperwork for claims, don't bounce back and forth. Don't be a musical chair with the veteran service officer. If you don't like number 1, because you will go to number 1 service officer, you don't like the way he talked to you or the paperwork is slow, don't run to number 2. I mean, this is what's confusing. We need to cut that down. We need to launch our paperwork, and we need to stay with this one VSO. It's important. Mm-hmm. So the paperwork will be online and not staggered. That's what's doing a lot of these problems. One of the problems is some of the cases are also, they're going to a center. Some of these guys complain to me that how come my paperwork is in Texas? Well, your paperwork is in Texas because Honolulu is back up. So they send it to Texas because there's only like 12 on the waiting list for services. That's how we get these people quickly. That's why they're sending your paperwork. They're outsourcing your paperwork to the other VSOs to make a determination and send it back to Honolulu and say, this is what we're looking at. So that's all I got to say on that, unless anybody has anything else.
So wow. So Tim. So just to respond to that question from the online viewer regarding certified staff. So you said you had 4 out of how many there?
We only have 4, and all of them are all nationally Veteran Administration certified, accredited, and I'm not sure when was the last time this individual went down to ASCENT, but I'm here to tell you that we are very capable, and the VSOs are accredited with the Veterans Administration, and we welcome all veterans to ASCENT office.
4. Or do you guys plan on bringing more staff on board? Go ahead.
And what's the process? Did I miss that? They go off island for training?
Yes, they explain the process.
Okay.
So, I did submit the increase in staffing pattern in my 22 fiscal budget, but can't say what I can't control, right? So you live with what you got, and we're surviving right now with what we got. But to be frank with you, yes, I did submit additional bodies to increase our veteran service representatives from 4 to 6, in line with our vision on growing and improving our customer service and adhering to all the federal guidelines. So yes, the answer was yes. And it's up to the general fund or their lack of in providing the money to the Veterans Affairs Office.
Guys, we're kind of up against some time issues here, but Mr. San Augustine, I wanted to just, as a former Veterans Affairs director yourself, and now the chair of the Guam Veterans Commission, how are you guys going to work together moving forward with Tim and the VA office here locally? Unmute, sir.
Unmute, Mr. San Augustine. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, moving forward with a positive vision to serve the veteran community. And the way this works is both he and I are very knowledgeable of what's going on within the Guam Veterans Affairs Office and the cemetery. We are very inclined to improving our relationship and veterans organization so that we could make things right the best that we could. I am confident that we could outreach many of our missing link organizations to include the Office of the Delegate and the senators so that we could influence them with what changes and needs that we need to do in order to fulfill the neglected mandates that has broken the confidence of our veterans. And so I know Tim Hogan has a community outreach individual that he had assigned. We will be working closely to be able to make this happen. Many challenges ahead. However, I am very confident, and I say this with confidence, that I will be able to reel in both from the Mike St. Nicholas' office and the senators, and to build the veterans community so that we continue to do the good things that they deserve. I will like to get rid of the rumors that we are at the bottom of the barrel, because when we went and served, we did not tell the community or the world that they are at the bottom of the barrel. We went in and we fought for freedom that we enjoy now, and with that mindset, we're going to do good things for the veterans community, and we're not going to give up. And you could tell from my face that this hurts. when our veterans are in need and their family, and believe it or not, even the civilian counterparts suffer because everyone, just about every family here in Guam has a veteran, and so some of the things that we're really honing in right now to mitigate are the suicide incidents that are taking place and the homelessness. We're going to focus on that and try to partner up with different organizations so that we could better assist and better advise of how to go about to really mitigate a lot of these challenges that continue to come up unexpectedly, within our community. It's painful, and that's why we're here. And that's why I wanted to be a commission chair, so that we could continue to move forward and do good things for our veterans community and their family. And I hope that makes sense to you guys.
Oh, definitely, 100% makes sense. And best of luck to you guys in making sure that our veterans' voices are being heard. And Tim, good to hear that that you're getting some good marks for what you're doing over there.
Yeah.
So thank you, gentlemen. And I know for sure we'll be hearing more from you guys in the future.
Yeah, Dan, I'll be in touch after the show. I'm going to give you guys a ring. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing us your time.
Right on.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Okay,
Have a
we'll
great
see
day.
you.
Have a day. Thank you.
Esta, okay, Joss. Yeah, I was just looking at this Congressional Veterans Advisory Council. There was a Facebook page that was created last year. But I mean, this is something that I actually covered this when I was on the news team. And these veterans, there's just really no level of care that I think we can provide that would really just show them how grateful we are for a lot of the sacrifices that they've made. But just because that's being said, I think we just got to do better. I mean, traditionally, they've said during this term that they just get nothing out of the congressional office. So, I mean, really, I don't want to get too much into it, but it's frustrating because there was just a whole big... they made a parade out of it last year during the election with John Ananich, and it's really sad to hear these veterans like Dan and Jose coming on here and saying they just don't hear anything at all. It's frustrating. 8:52 here on the